All right, let's talk about something I think a lot of us do, but we don't really get why we do it. We're going to dive into the psychology of overexplaining.
Have you ever had that moment? You walk away from a chat and this thought just hits you out of nowhere. Why did I say all that? It's that awful sinking feeling, right? Where you just wish you could go back in time and, well, say a whole lot less. It's that moment of cringing at yourself, and trust me, you are not alone in feeling that.
And these scenarios, they're so spot on. Think about it. You send a perfectly normal text, but then your brain goes into overdrive. Wait, did that sound mean? Was that too blunt? So you immediately follow up with 2 more texts just to make sure that tone is okay. Or, oh my gosh, this one. Somebody asks you for something and you can't do it. But instead of just saying no, you feel like you have to give this whole TED talk on why you're justified, all because you're trying to prove you're not a bad person. It's exhausting.
We usually beat ourselves up for this, right? We see it as a flaw, a sign that we're anxious or insecure. But what if? What if we've been looking at this whole thing completely backward? It's time to reframe this, starting with this huge misconception.
I want you to just let this one sink in for a second. Seriously. All that time you've spent criticizing yourself after you think you've said too much, it might be totally off base. This isn't some deep flaw in your character. It's something else entirely. It's actually a defense mechanism, something your brain is doing on purpose.
I love this comparison because it just flips the script. On one side, you have what we tell ourselves. It's a personal failing, just a bad habit, a clear sign of anxiety. But look at the other side. What if it's actually a protective shield or a clever instinct? Heck, even a communication strategy. See? It's not a bug in your system. It's a feature. And it's there for a very real reason.
So, if we're all on board that it's not a flaw, what exactly is it? Let's actually put a name to this whole thing and really get into the why behind it.
Okay, so the official term for this is defensive communication. And it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a way we try to protect ourselves before anything bad even happens. We're trying to get ahead of being misunderstood or judged or, and this is usually the big one hiding underneath it all, being rejected. It's a defense that comes from a very real place, maybe from past experiences where we were judged, and now we're just trying to make sure that never, ever happens again.
But why? Why do we feel this need to put up this verbal shield? What's the end game? What are we actually trying to accomplish with all those extra words?
And this quote right here, it absolutely nails it. The goal is control. That's what it all comes down to. When you over-explain, you're trying to manage the story. You're giving so much detail, so much solid quality proof that you hope there's literally no way the other person can get it wrong. You're trying to control their perception of you. So now we know what it is and why we do it. So the million-dollar question is, what can we do about it? And the answer, believe it or not, isn't about just trying to force yourself to stop. It's something much simpler and honestly, a lot more powerful.
And here it is. This is probably the most important takeaway of this entire explainer. The first step, the giant leap really, is just understanding. Recognizing that over-explaining is your shield. So the next time you feel that urge to just keep talking, you can pause for a half a second and ask yourself, hey, what am I trying to protect myself from right now? Just that little bit of awareness, it changes everything. It's how you start communicating from a place of security instead of a place of fear.
So, I'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. The next time you catch yourself doing it, instead of getting mad at yourself, just get a little curious. Ask yourself this question. What if this thing I've always thought was my flaw is actually my shield? Thanks for watching.